Hey guys, my name's Corey, and today we're going to take a look at whether or not you are ready for the Town Hall 13 update. While we get started on this, I do have an attack queued up in the background. That way we're not just focusing on me talking. So, this is a question, it goes a lot deeper than you probably realize. You might think that this Town Hall 13 update only affects Town Hall 12s, and that is not true. In fact, this Town Hall 13 update is probably going to be affecting Town Hall 10 most of all, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So if you are at Town Hall 12 and you're 100% maxed, then obviously you're sitting in a pretty good spot. You're ready for that Town Hall 13 update. Now, if you're at Town Hall 12 like I am, and you're not maxed yet, maybe you're a couple months from being maxed, you know, this update might be pretty difficult, especially for me, because if it comes out in December, we'll talk about that a little bit too, whether or not I think it's going to. If it comes out in December, I will have just fully maxed out my Town Hall 12 or gotten very close to it, and then all of a sudden there's a whole new Town Hall level. Once again, I'm nowhere near to being maxed. So if you're in the same boat as me as far as Town Hall 12 goes, and you're not maxed yet, then you're probably not too excited about the Town Hall 13 update. I know I'm not. But let's talk about that a little bit for a minute, because if you're wondering when exactly is the Town Hall 13 update, and the short answer is I don't know. I don't know. They keep that very, very closely guarded. They do not want us to know when it's going to drop, when it's going to come out, but they do give us a lot of hints. I know I just heard Darius, the Supercell community manager, talking, I think just today or yesterday, saying that this next update in December is going to be big, and it's going to have a lot of end game content. But, you know, he definitely did not commit to that being a new Town Hall level. Now, do I think it's going to come out in December? I think so. But once again, just a guess, and I think an educated guess. And one of the reasons I think that is because the World Championship's going down at the end of October. A month later, if they're going to do a big winter update, that would be the time to introduce a new Town Hall, at least in my opinion, because obviously you can't introduce it too close before World Championships come up. And I would think that you would want, for the next round of World Championships, you'd want to allow at least enough time for a reasonable amount of people to get their new Town Hall 13 maxed before, you know, I mean, you gotta have pretty much maxed before you can even start competing with it. Otherwise, you're gonna run up against gemmers that have already completely maxed it and have a huge advantage. So I think it'll probably happen in December, but I don't know. I could totally be wrong, so don't take that to the bank. I do not know. That's just my guess. So we've talked about Town Hall 12. If you're maxed, you're ready for it. If you're not. So now we're going to go down to Town Hall 11. We're going to talk about the effect on Town Hall 13 that is going to have on Town Hall 11s, because it is going to have an effect. By the way, I'm totally just grabbing random attacks. I'm not doing queen charges on purpose. I'm just grabbing a Town Hall 12 while we're talking Town Hall 12. Town Hall 11 while we're talking about Town Hall 11. So, for Town Hall 11, here's a little bit of background. When Town Hall 12 came out, at the time that it came out, in most competitive clans, they were running Town Hall 11s, Town Hall 10s, and Town Hall 9s. And so one of the things that we saw when Town Hall 12 came out, almost immediately, at least the highest leagues, dropped off Town Hall 9 immediately. CWL Invite said it's gone. And by the time the next season came around, most all of the lower leagues had done the same. It's just Town Hall 9 is obsolete now. We've all pretty well accepted that. And you got to understand that once this next Town Hall update comes again, that whole thing is going to shift once again, which is, in essence, after a little bit of time, that is going to make Town Hall 11 the new Town Hall 10. And of course, Town Hall 10 now is what Town Hall 9 used to be. So when Town Hall 13 comes out, you can very reasonably expect Town Hall 11 to be the lowest level Town Hall in any sort of serious competitive War League. So be ready for that shift. And if you're not wanting to be on the very bottom of that map, you're wanting to have your attacks matter maybe a little bit more, you're a pretty skilled attacker, you might think of going up to that Town Hall 12 so that you're in the middle instead of being at the very bottom of that competitive map. So that is how it is going to affect Town Hall 11. God, look at this beautiful queen charge right here, man. I love it. Those 4 quake spells got it open. Now a jump would have opened just as much, but would it have run out of time? Possibly, very possibly. One of the beautiful things about the earthquake, first of all, it speeds up the charge as well, because it gets all those buildings in that radius down to like half damage, so the queen can destroy them quicker. But then you don't have to worry about that jump spell wearing off. Of course, the bad side is that's a ton of spell space. Me personally, I still prefer using a jump where I can, just so I have a few more spells left over for the Lava Loon key run. Not going to run into that issue because this base is already smashed. So guys, now this time we're going to move to Town Hall 10, because Town Hall 10, if you are a Town Hall 10, you arguably might be the most affected by the Town Hall 13 update. Hey, I finally randomly clicked an attack that was not a queen charged Lava Loon. Looks like a Mass P.E.K.K.A. bat spell attack. That should be pretty interesting. So here we go. Why do I say that Town Hall 10 is going to be the most affected by the Town Hall 13 update when it does come out, whenever that may be? Because the same reasons that we talked about for Town Hall 11. When Town Hall 12 came out, Town Hall 9 became completely obsolete. And so when Town Hall 13 comes out, you guessed it, Town Hall 10 will become completely obsolete. And it's so funny to think it used to be the most difficult Town Hall of the game, but for quite a while they've been working on balancing and just really shifting the game as they bring out those newer Town Hall levels. They try to make the older Town Hall levels easier so that Town Hall 9s don't mind going to Town Hall 10. Town Hall 10 doesn't mind going to Town Hall 11. They try to make each a little bit more difficult than the last, but as new Town Halls come out, see, they've already done the prep work. They have made Town Hall 10 so much easier than it used to be. So much easier than it used to be. It used to be, if you could get like a 40% hit rate as a Town Hall 10 in competition, you were like a Town Hall 10 god at one point. It was so crazy hard. And even if you had like a 30% or 25% hit rate 10v10, at one point when Town Hall 10 was very difficult, you were a valued member of the clan. And nowadays, we in competition, we expect to get 50% at the very, very least. But honestly, if you know what you're doing and you got mad skills, you can easily expect to see 75, sometimes even 80% hit rates at Town Hall 10. It is so much easier than it used to be, and that's all in preparation of having it become obsolete as that new Town Hall level comes out. And we'll see balancing changes all the way along the line, honestly, to make those previous Town Halls possibly a little bit easier. So if they're not seeing the hit rates they want to see at Town Hall 12 when Town Hall 13 comes out, they'll make some changes to make Town Hall 12 a little bit easier, and so forth with Town Hall 11. But the big kicker is Town Hall 10 will be obsolete. So if you're still a Town Hall 10 and you're not prepared, you don't have a Town Hall 11, by the time Town Hall 13 comes out, you're going to be sunk. You're not going to be competing in a competitive clan anymore, because you're now playing at an obsolete Town Hall. Just like anybody that decided to stay Town Hall 9 after the Town Hall 12 update, there's no serious competitive clans that are running Town Hall 9s anymore. There's a couple smaller ones that I've heard of running Town Hall 9 divisions, but it's not a series, it's a novelty division. So Town Hall 10s will become obsolete when Town Hall 13 comes out. At least in the higher leagues, I expect it will probably happen fairly soon, maybe even immediately. I don't know. They got rid of Town Hall 9s super fast, so it, like in CWL Invite, it might happen immediately, and then kind of the mid-level leagues, probably the season after, you'll see those Town Hall 10s all disappear as well. So just wanted you guys to be aware of that, in case any of you guys are rocking accounts where maybe Town Hall 10 is your highest level that you're at, and you're loving competition, you're really good at Town Hall 10. If and when Town Hall 13 comes out, you better be ready to press that button and go to Town Hall 11 real fast, because Town Hall 10 just not even going to matter anymore. I remember when Town Hall 12 came out, there were so many jokes about how obsolete Town Hall 9 was then. And one of the memes I saw was like, Town Hall 9 lives matter, and then everybody else was just like, no, they don't. But yeah, it'll go that way, and it'll continue happening that way over the years as Clash of Clans continues to release those new Town Hall updates as well. Tell you what, man, listen to that Darius interview. He really made it seem like they were not going to bring Town Hall 13 out in the December update. But I gotta think, man, how much more endgame content can they really add to Town Hall 12? I was super shocked when they gave it level 65 heroes. That was a really big departure. They've never done 15 hero levels available to Town Hall before. I kind of thought they were shooting themselves in the foot there with those levels and planning out the next hero levels after that. I really, but Of course, they could have just buffed the heroes if the goal is to make Town Hall 12 easier, sure, so your level 60 queen is now as strong as the level 65 queens are. But with that, they're also not giving the guys anything to work towards. And one of the things that fully maxed out guys start to lose interest after a while, unless they're all over competitive war leagues. But let's face it, most are not in the competitive war leagues. So they're trying to give them something else to do, some more in-game content, some more stuff to work for, some more stuff to build, some more stuff to upgrade, etc., etc., etc. But I don't know how they're really going to squeeze that much more in-game content into Town Hall 12. I mean, how are they going to do that and still call it a big update? The only other way I could possibly see them managing to do that is if they introduce like a whole new troop and then start having to balance it at Town Hall 12. But if they introduce a whole new troop, they're probably gonna have to add a new defensive something as well. But guys, I don't know how much can they really do to Town Hall 12 now. I think it's time for Town Hall 13, so I think it's coming to the December update, but I don't know for sure. And of course, disclaimer, could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below, do you think that the Town Hall 13 update is coming in December? What do you think? Do you think it's coming, or do you think they're going to make us wait a little bit longer? Got to consider, World Championships will have been over for about a month at that point. It would be good timing, so that's my case for it. Thanks for hanging out with me today, you guys. I'll see you in the next video.